Good morning, class 9 children. Welcome back. Today is Friday, and on Friday, as per the new routine, you are given English language class or English paper 1. So, before we come to talk about English language, what we are going to see a new topic today, uh, I would like to say about your English 2 or English literature that the question answer of the poem The Cold Within uh, is now forwarded to you in the group. Please copy those extract notes in your poetry exercise notebook, and in the notes is given questions and then later answers, but I want you to write these extract notes, question, and then write the answer, then leave one line, then write next question, write the answer for that question, leave one line, and then the next. So please write your notes, the given notes, in this order, right? And now you are also given at the same time some extract notes as homework. Try this out, and if you find any difficulty in answering those questions, go through the poem once again, and go through the notes, the extract notes given to you. Try to understand what the poet is wanting to tell you, and then uh, solve those questions. So, well, uh, today is your English 1 class. So, before we introduce a new thing in our English 1 class to discuss today, let me summarize whatever we have done so far in English paper 1, right? So, let us go back to revise. So, in our English language paper, question number 1, we began with compositions. There, in the question, we understood different kinds of compositions, and we also understood the format of writing these compositions. And in this set of compositions, we understood each one of the kind of the composition. And in the set, we also discussed about picture writing, right? And there we got to understand which is the easiest way to write uh, a composition and get good marks. Um, and we also talked about uh, the pros and cons of answering the picture writing, and we finally discuss which one would be better in the part of the student to opt the question to write composition, right? Thereafter we understood question number 2, and in the question number 2 we saw the two kinds of letters, one formal and the other informal. Most importantly, in this question we understood the pattern of writing the two different kinds of letters, and I had strictly reminded you that your letters should be as per the format. If you are a little bit different than what format is given, your answer will be taken wrong, right? So hope you have made the box pattern of the letter pattern in your exercise note, because this is a must, and is very important that you should understand the way how you have to write the different letters, right? And then we moved on to the next question, question 3, and we saw here that question 3 is divided into two subparts. Question 3a was on notice writing, and when we discussed notice writing, there also we understood uh, a particular pattern of writing a notice, right? And then we moved on to question 3b, and in this 3b we understood email writing, and in this question also we understood that email writing has its own format, right? So far we have understood everything has a format to write, and if you are a little bit different than what the format is given, then you will get very low mark uh, to what you write in the answer. So strictly telling you again that you have to stick to what the format is given. So other than the format given, please do not write the answers uh, in your own format. It will be regarded wrong, right? So I wanted these all things to be written neatly and tidily in your English language exercise notebook. Hope you have done so. And in each of these questions, we had taken some questions as homework. Hope you have done those works, right? And today we'll come to a new question in our language paper, that is question number 4, right? And this is basically an understanding portion of your question paper, right? You have to be very sharp, you have to be very quick in understanding this question, right? The quicker you understand this, the better you will have the answers done, right? And you know that you are sitting uh, for English language paper mm, for 2 hours, 120 minutes, right? So these 2 hours will very quickly go by. So you have to be very cautious, you have to be very careful in attempting all the questions, right, as per the time. Okay, so this question is a long thing, a long procedure to understand. It needs nearly 30 to 40 minutes of your 2 hours time to understand this question, right? So do not uh, keep the time 30 minutes or 40 minutes in this question. Try to solve it um, lesser than 30 minutes so that you have the time spared with you out of that 2 hours to writing composition, because composition writing really would take a hell of time. It will uh, take much of your time out of that 2 hours, right? So the more time that you devote in writing composition, the better would be for you, right? So let us now again come back to it. Comprehension, right? What does the word comprehension mean? The word comprehension means understanding, right? At the stipulated time, how quick are you to understand the given passage? That is a test on it, right? Now, in this comprehension, you will get a prose. Prose means a story or a passage. You'll get a prose, or you can call it a passage. It may be in the form of a story, it may be in the form of a description, it may be an article, right? So it can be anything. But this passage as prose is not taken from your prescribed textbook, right? It will be from anywhere, any of the textbook. Okay, so take a note that this question number 4 in your language paper, which is a question on comprehension, which means understanding, this will be from the unused prescribed book in your class. That means it is not from the textbook that you are using in the class. It is from the outside book, right? Okay, so please do not raise a question when you see this question right? That the teacher did not teach you this very story or this very article in your class, right? This is entirely a new thing for you. A new prose you'll get, a new passage you'll get. However, if you have read this prose or a story or description or this passage somewhere else, then it's a luck in your part that you have already done it, right? But the target of the examiner is to check you, right, by giving you a fresh prose, a fresh passage which you haven't read it before. So it is not from your prescribed textbook, right? It is from your outside textbook, right? So it will be a prose or a passage of about 300 to 350 words, right? So you have to read this whole. So it will take much of your time of the examination, right? Okay, so you have to read it very fast so as to understand, right? Very quickly. Okay, so it will be of 300 to 350 words. Okay, so now this passage is given in the question paper. Now on the basis of this passage, which is an unseen passage, right? I'm calling it unseen passage because it is not from your prescribed textbook. Okay, so the questions are these. So question A, 4A is asked on word meanings. So here you'll have 1 to 3 words or 1 to maximum 5 words. So you'll have 1, 2, 3 words, or you'll have 1 to 5 words maximum. Okay, and these words are thought difficult words, right? And these words are taken from the same passage or same prose, okay, which are difficult words to say. Okay, so as per the examiner, so these words you have to write the meaning in the simplest form. What you have to do is you have to write the meanings of those given words in the simplest form, right? Which will be 3 marks to 5 marks. So if there are 3 words taken from the prose which you are making into simplest form, right, then 1 mark for each, so 3 marks. And if there are 5 words taken, right, so one word will have 1 mark, so there will be obviously 5 marks for 5 words, right? So you will not be making a sentence of those words, right? If you are making sentence of each of these words, your answer will be taken wrong, right? No marks will be given for it, right? You'll have to write the answer in just one word, or you can use a short phrase. That means a group of 2-3 words as your answer. But more than that, you cannot write a sentence. Okay, so question A is asked on word meanings, right? So difficult words are chosen or taken from this passage, right? And you are asked to make it simple, okay, with the word meanings, either in one word or a short phrase, right? Just 2-3 words for the answer, but do not make a sentence, right? Making a sentence, right, of the given word will be considered wrong. You will not get any marks for it. Okay, so how many words are there? There are 1 to 3, or there are 1 to 5 maximum. Okay, so 3 to 5 marks will be the marks given for this question A. Okay, now move on to the next question B. Now question B is question answer. So here you are asked some questions, right? Some question means there will be 1 to 5 questions. Okay, and you have to answer from the prose or passage. These questions are asked from the passage given, right? You have to answer, right, your answer going through the passage, understanding the passage, right, and answering them in the words of your own. Try to write the answers in your own words and write to the point. No need to write excess. No need to make lengthy answers. Answer what is asked. So write to the point. Okay? Because each question will be of 2 marks, right? So do not give more time, right, to write the answer, right? Okay, in an essay way. Don't waste your time. Write to the point. Write what is asked. Okay, so here will be 1 to 5 questions. So maximum will be 10 marks. Okay, and write the answer in the words of your own. Do not copy the answer from the passage, right? That will be considered wrong. Okay, so you'll be copying the answer only when the question is asking you, right? Pick out from the passage which means this. If the question says this, pick out from the passage, the given prose, given passage, which means this or which tells this. Now, if the question is asked such, then you will pick the same line from the passage and write the answer using quotation, because you are asked to do the same. You are picking out the line from the passage, right? So you need to quote, right? So quote your answer, right, and write it in your answer. So only in that case you will be copying the passage line. Okay, but if other questions are there, right, starting with the WH words, who, when, where, why, whose, how, why, then you have to answer in your own words. That is what you should remember. Okay, now move on to the next question, C. Now C is asked on précis writing. Call it précis, not precise. Précis. Précis writing or summary writing. Précis writing is summary writing, right? However, you are given some instructions in this question. You will be writing the précis, you will be writing the summary, right, on the given passage in 60 words, 80 words or 100 words, right? So all three will not be there in the question paper, right? 60, 80, 100 will not be there together in the question paper, right? The examiner will ask only one. Either it will be 60 or 80 or 100, right? Any of these three will be there in the question paper. If it is 60 words, you'll have to answer it in the 60 words. If it is 80 words, you'll have to answer answer in 80 words. Or if it is 100, then you have to answer the answer in 100 words, right? Should be exact, precise, right? So you are writing a summary or you are writing a précis, right? Précis means summary, right? Summary is the shortest way to explain the same passage, the given passage in 60, 80, 100 words, right? So this will be of 8 marks or 10 marks, right? This will be of 8 marks or 10 marks, okay? So summary will be asked in this question either to explain the whole passage in 100 words, what you have understood. So now write the summary in 100 words, or it may be asked to write the summary on the first 2 paragraphs. It may be asked on writing the last 2 paragraphs, write a summary on the last 2 paragraphs that you have read in the passage, right? Or it may be asked on any of the content of the passage, right, in the required number of words, 60, 80, 100, right? So it will be of 8 to 10 marks. Now the very important thing comes, how are you going to write this answer, right? Précis writing or summary writing, you'll be answering it in the grid form, which I have given here on the board, right? This is called grid form, writing the answer in the grid form, making the columns. Since you are asked to write in the required number, 60, 80 or 100, so you have to make a grid using pencil and scale and then write the answer, right? Each of the words should be in each box. Each of the words should be in each box, right? So that counting becomes easy. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 5 words in one line, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 lines are written, right? So 5 into 4 is 5 for the 20, right? Clear? So the counting becomes easy and should be exact. 60, 80, 100. Try as far as possible to write the exact number of words as asked in the question paper. Okay, so but you have to write in the grid form. So what is the grid form? Making the columns, right, and writing the answer, right, in the column is called grid form. So question C, summary writing or précis writing, you'll be answering it in the grid form, right? So if you have seen Total English book, there the example is given how you write in the grid form. You can check there once and try to understand, right? But you'll be answering not in the passage, not in the passage form. You'll be answering this question C in the grid form. This is what you're gonna do, right? Followed now. So if you are writing this answer in the grid form, then it will be checked and evaluated. If you are answering it in the passage form, the instruction you have not applied. That's why it will be cancelled, right? So please write the answer in the grid form, making the columns with pencil and scale. And after you have written your answer, you can erase. And if you want to leave it likewise, you can leave it so. No need. It is not compulsory that you have to erase it, right? However, you can also have rough work on it also. You can write rough, right, and then again make it fresh, right? But time is a very important factor in the examination hall, right? So if you have time, then only apply that pattern, writing it rough and then again making it in fair in your grid form, right? But when you are making a grid form, if you have time, you can erase it. If you want to leave it likewise, you can leave it likewise. Okay, this is what you have to do in question C, right? Now, last question in this question 4 is giving a suitable title to the summary in question C. So question C is précis writing or summary writing. So whatever summary you have written in the required number of words, the last question is asking you to give a suitable title to your summary, what you have written in question C, right? So you just have to give a heading and also state why do you want to give that heading to your summary, right? Give a reason. Okay, so you have to write the heading, the suitable heading that you feel that it should be the heading of this summary which you have written in question C, right? And then why do you think that this is the right title for it, or suitable title for it, or the most appropriate title for it? So it will be of either 2 marks or 3 marks, right? So this is your comprehension portion, right? This is your passage, unseen passage question in your English language paper. It is asking you how quick are you to understand, how fast are you to understand the given passage. You have to understand, you have to read it, you have to understand, right? Unless you have understood, you are not able to answer this. Okay, so it's a test on your understanding, right? So this is the pattern, these are the things you have in your question number 4. It will be of 20 to 30 marks taken as a whole, right? It will be in between 20 to 30 marks, okay, of this question, okay, which is very vital, right, in your question paper. Okay, so I'll be giving you one passage and the exercise for you to work at home. So just try it yourself, try to understand, give your time to understand this question, right? And likewise in between some questions will again try. Okay, so hope you have understood, right? So keep following what is being taught and also doing the work which are assigned to you. So stay fine and safe at home. Thank you very much.